Hello everyone, and welcome in another virtual biology lecture. In this lecture, we're going to be talking about respiratory health. By the way, why are you doing it virtually? Why you are not enjoying your biology session in school with your friends in the class? Now, of course, you know why. It's this new coronavirus, COVID-19, right? So as far as we know about the disease, COVID-19 is a disease that affects the respiratory system. And this disease, of course, is not going to be explained in your book. However, I do believe that it will be added to biology books later. So maybe one day when you are reciting biology for your kids, you will have an interesting story to share about how you survived the 2020 COVID-19 outbreak. So respiratory health, and let's start. Of course, we cannot cover all the types of illness that can affect the respiratory system, so we are going to explain a few of them. So we'll have cold and flu, bronchitis, pneumonia, asthma, lung cancer, emphysema. Starting with the most common one, the one that you're all familiar with, which is cold and flu. Now, of course, you experienced that before, waking up in the morning, feeling this annoying feeling. You have a runny nose, watery eyes, coughing, you are sneezing, and you go, Mom, I have cold, or Mom, I have flu. Now, actually, the symptoms are close to each other when we have cold or flu, and both are caused by different types of viruses, but they do share some common symptoms. However, there are a few differences between them. So you have this table here. By the way, this table is not in your book. It's for your common knowledge. You can see the major differences between cold and the flu here. So one of them, for example, is the fever. You rarely have a fever when you have cold, but it is usual in flu. So when you have cold, you are sneezing, you are coughing, you have runny nose. But you can still come to school. But when you have a flu, you have a fever, so usually you can say, oh, Mom, I want to be absent today. The other disease is bronchitis. Now, as the name suggests, bronchitis, so it does affect the bronchulus and the bronchi. So it's an inflammation in the bronchial tubes. The bronchitis is caused by different types of viruses or bacteria. So it could be caused by a virus or it could be a bacterial disease. If you have a look here, so this is a normal bronchi. See, this is the airway here, and this is an infected one. You can see how the walls are swollen due to the inflammation, and then also you have this increase in mucus inside. So the tube becomes narrower, so the air movement is going to be slower here. Have a look here again. This is the normal lining, a normal airway passage, and now you have inflammation, you have the mucus, and a narrower bronchial tube. The other one we have is asthma. Asthma is also common, and it is caused usually by allergens such as dust, smoke, pollen, and pollution. You know what? My younger brother, he has asthma like since childhood, and especially when the weather is bad and there's a lot of dust, he will really have difficulties in breathing and wheezing as he breathes, and coughing. The reason behind that is that when you have asthma, you're going to have swollen airways. So if you have a look at this normal airway, and this one is of a person during an asthma attack, so you can see how the airway are swollen, and we have also increase in the mucus, which again makes it harder for the air to pass through. So some of the common symptoms of asthma are going to be frequent coughing, shortness in breathing, wheezing, and a pain in the chest. So this is a normal airway, this is a normal airway, and this is an asthmatic airway. The other disease we're going to discuss is emphysema. Now this one here actually affects the alveoli, so you will have damaged alveoli. It's in this condition the air sacs are gonna become weaker, and they are going to change shape, so that will reduce the surface area of the lungs, and therefore the amount of oxygen exchange is going to be less. Remember when we explained alveoli, we said that they have large surface area. So this is a normal alveoli, and they have large surface area, and this large surface area make it easier and faster for the gas exchange to happen. Now, when we have emphysema, now look, this is a normal one, okay? So this is the surface area, and I have here larger surface area. When I have emphysema, look what happened to the walls of the alveoli. We have destruction of the alveoli, so I will have a smaller surface area, which makes it harder for the gas exchange to happen and to obtain oxygen. Now, one of the causes would be smoking. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantages of smoking. The symptoms would be coughing, feeling tired, losing appetite, and this could lead into weight loss. So again, see, this is a normal one. This is a normal alveoli, a normal alveolus, and this one is infected. Now, lung cancer. Cancer in general, cancer is uncontrolled growth of the cell. Now, remember when we studied mitosis, when the cell divides? Now, this process should be controlled, okay? When the process of cell division goes out of control, it will cause a tumor. So, if this happens in a lung tissue, then it will cause lung cancer. Of course, there are many reasons and causes for lung cancer. One of them is, well, again, smoking. When they say smoking kills, I'm not joking about it. Of course, it's cancer, so the disease is really scary, and it could be fatal, and it might lead to death. Some of the symptoms would be coughing, difficulties in breathing, and chest pain. So it happens in different stages, of course. Stage 1, Stage 2, the tumor increases in size, and so on. And again, this is for general knowledge. So this is a healthy lung, and this is a lung with a cancer. This is the tumor, and as we said, one of the main reasons would be smoking. Now let's talk about pneumonia. Pneumonia is also an inflammation in the lung, and this inflammation could be caused by bacteria. Now, when you have this inflammation, you're going to have a fluid filling your lungs. So if you can look at this one, see, this is the fluid filling the lungs when you have this bacterial infection. And of course, this will make it harder for the gases to exchange. It's going to slow the rate of gas exchange. So due to this fluid in the alveoli, it will slow the gas exchange, and you are going to have difficulties in breathing. So these are the major diseases that you have in the book. Of course, as we said, there are many diseases that may affect the respiratory system. However, take a minute to go over them. Now, how can we maintain a good respiratory health? Okay, the answer is easy. Here, of course, you need to stay away from irritant and air pollution. Try to avoid being in area where we have high air pollution. Also avoid smoking. Don't smoke. And avoid secondhand smoking. Secondhand smoking means sitting next to people who smoke. So Just avoid sitting in area where you have so many people smoking. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. Stay healthy, take good care of your respiratory system. Of course, exercising can also help to maintain good health. Stay safe, stay home.